Hey guys, Houls here from Houls Fitness. It's about 6:30 a.m. Normally I'd be at the gym around this time, but I've actually come down and I'm pretty sick. I'm not too bad, but I figure I'm just over 4 weeks out from the show, getting on stage, and I really don't want to push my body that much that I'm going to create a longer stress on my body than I need. So I've decided I'm going to take today off the gym, and that will mean cutting back on my cardio and my weights today. So I'm just going to take this time to actually talk to you in regards to rest and why it's important. Obviously my training regime's probably a little bit more rigorous than most. So obviously I'm at the gym for almost 3 hours a day. But that's obviously because of my comp prep. But that has taken its toll on my body. Usually I don't get sick, so that's why I'm not too concerned, but it must be pretty bad for me to get to this point where I feel like I need to take some time off. Because like I said, I usually don't get sick, and if I do, it's like a sore throat and I'm over it. But at the moment I'm feeling fatigued, I'm a bit more sore than I normally am. So these are all signs of, stress on the body and whatnot. But I guess what I've come to learn with my body as well is I've got to listen to it. And that goes for anybody, and that's why rest is so important. As much as your mind's saying, look, you're going to lose all these gains that you're making, and rest days aren't important and overtraining's a myth. Well, supplemented with a good nutrition plan and adequate rest, overtraining is a myth, but overtraining is definitely something that is out there. So in regards to overtraining, you've got a couple of things that come into play, and that's what they call systematic overtraining and localized overtraining. Systematic is the worst of the two. That's where your whole body basically goes into a shutdown mode, more or less, and you have fatigue throughout the whole body, and you can start to show signs and symptoms of like flu-like symptoms where you're, like me, sore throat, whole body's a bit sore. So this is systematic overtraining. And then there's localized overtraining, which that is more what bodybuilders would get more frequently, is where you're constantly using the same muscle over and over again, and you're not giving it enough rest, and supplemented with the proper nutrition, adequate nutrition, that your muscle will actually be sore for longer than it needs to because it's not getting that rest. So that's what they call localized overtraining. Now when these things occur, what happens is your body goes into a response mode, and you'll start secreting more what's called cortisol. Now cortisol is a hormone that's released from your adrenal gland, and it creates your body to go into a catabolic like state. Now what does catabolic like state mean? That means the breaking down of basically muscle. So when this happens, it's obviously going to be the exact opposite of what you want. Now to combat this, you need to obviously have rest. Now again, coming back to rest and why you need it, it's because during your rest period is when your body grows. This is the most vital time when your body needs the proper, gateway for your muscles to recover. Now, I know a lot of us hate rest days, and I, for one, am one of those. I hate rest days. You're always thinking about just getting back into the gym, and you get this mindset that you're going to lose, all these gains, which is bullshit, because you're not. If anything, rest is the icing on the cake to what you've already done. You go in, you break your muscle down in the gym or wherever you train, and then you feed it in the kitchen, and then you build it while you sleep, or build it while at rest. And this is why it's so important to rest, because during rest is when you produce the most GH, growth hormone. Human growth hormone, HGH, is probably something you hear about, and I'll go into HGH in another topic on another day. But basically, it aids you in the recovery and the building and the anabolic state of your muscles. So then you are putting on that size that you want. And that's when you're at rest, is when the HGH, your human growth hormone, is produced the most. Now, again, that's why we need adequate sleep, adequate rest, and proper nutrition. Um, Without these things, your body will go into a catabolic state and release that hormone that I spoke about, cortisol, and it will deter to what your actual goals, and I'm sure what your fitness aims are, because you don't want to put extra stress on your body. So getting that adequate rest is essential, and don't be scared of rest days. You know, and like I said, me being sick's a nice segue for me to come into talking about this topic to you. I have had a rigorous training regime for the past probably 6 months, because I thought I was going to do a show in February. So I actually started training for the February show in probably October, November. So I've been a caloric deficit for almost 6 months now. Yeah, probably a bit over 6 months. So obviously that has gone against me, and I think with the changing of the season now, I mean, being that I'm on the Gold Coast, the weather doesn't drop dramatically, but there is a shift in the seasonal change. So if I ever do get sick, that's when I sort of get the sniffles or something. But at the moment, I just feel like I've got that systematic overtraining feeling. Now, I don't necessarily believe in overtraining if you're getting adequate rest and adequate nutrition. However, at this stage in my pre-comp, I just feel that I've hit a bit of a wall. I'll only take probably a couple of days off max. That's all I feel I need. And just obviously I'm going to listen to my body, and just pending how I feel in the next couple of days is where I'm actually going to get back into it. And do I start slow or not? Probably not. I'll probably go straight back into doing what I was doing. But I feel if I get over this hump, and like I said, it's the changing of the season. It's not like, I don't believe it's come from overtraining per se, because I don't really believe in overtraining in the actual fact that, because if you're getting enough rest and your nutrition's adequate enough, I don't believe you're going to get that fatigued. However, like I said, my regime is probably a little bit more rigorous than most, and it is flu season. So hey, I probably have just got a touch of the man flu, as a lot of people will say, oh, he's just got the man flu. My fiance Siobhan, she's also niggly, feeling a little bit sick, but she fights through it all the time. She just goes to work, gets things done. So in that respect, I guess I do have the man flu. But I thought it'd be a great time just to talk about rest and why you need it. And you've got to listen to your body, understand what it needs, when it needs it. And, there's a lot of signs that you are getting into that overtraining mode. So what you need to do is just really be in tune with your body, and don't use that as an excuse not to go to the gym. Decipher between whether you're lazy or you're getting sick and overtrained. A lot of the times, and I've read that a lot of people, if you're feeling like this, go to the gym and just see how how lethargic you actually are, because probably 60% of the time you'll realize that you know what, I was just being lazy. You actually get into the gym, your endorphins kick in, and you're actually not too bad. So yeah, I'm actually just over 4 weeks out from comp. I'm going to have a couple of days rest. My nutrition's going to stay the same. I'm not going to decrease anything or increase anything, but it's going to stay the same. So effectively, will I lose any gains or any progress? I don't believe I will. I've spoken to my coach about this, Frank, and he doesn't believe a day or two will make any difference. I don't think it will either. It's more or less, if I don't do it now, then maybe I could be stunting any kind of progress future progress that I could have made in the 4 weeks. Could get worse. So I'm going to take the next couple of days. And yeah, that goes for you guys too. If you're feeling run down and your head's going, no, just get to the gym, just don't. Stop. Get the rest that you need. A day's not going to kill you. It's like they say, one bad meal's not going to make you fat, and one good meal's not going to make you healthy. Just like rest, an extra day of rest isn't going to make you lose any progress at all. It's going to take a lot, but if you don't get the rest you need, going back to the hormone that is released is cortisol. Now, upping the cortisol level in your body will make a huge difference on your body in regards to what your aim is. And having cortisol flushing and going throughout your body in high levels will stop you from making those gains or getting that muscle or losing that fat, because that's what it does. It hinders fat loss as well. So keep that in mind next time that you think that you should just get to the gym because you're making all this progress, because you're actually not. You're actually deterring from what you actually could achieve. So, yep, I'm going to take a couple of days off. It's the Gold Coast. I don't even know what the temperature is outside, but I'm sitting here in a hoodie and I've got my Ugg boots on. Yeah, Ugg boots. But I figure I'll just keep myself warm. Usually I have a fan on, but I don't actually feel like I need it. But anyway, I digress. Go and have that rest that you need. And yeah, guys, stay safe. I'll talk to you soon, and see you later.
So